Marcus had exactly $11 left in his bank account. Not kind of broke, actually broke. His landlord had taped an eviction notice to his apartment door that morning. His car had been repossessed 2 weeks earlier, and his little sister kept pretending her worn-out sneakers were still fine, so he wouldn't feel bad. Every shift at the diner felt heavier than the last. That night, around midnight, Marcus was cleaning booth 7 when his rag bumped against something underneath the table. A wallet, a thick one. He opened it, and his stomach instantly dropped. Stacks of cash, not a few 20s, thousands. Marcus looked around the empty diner. Nobody. His coworker Tyler peeked over his shoulder and let out a low whistle. Dude, that's like a miracle from heaven. Marcus didn't laugh because honestly, it felt like one. His electricity bill was overdue, his fridge was basically empty, and tomorrow morning his landlord said he was changing the locks if rent wasn't paid. For one dangerous sec, Marcus imagined keeping it, just taking the cash, walking away, finally breathing again. Then he noticed a folded photo tucked inside the wallet. An older man sat beside a little girl in a hospital bed, both smiling at the camera even though the little girl looked exhausted. Written on the back were 4 words, "My brave little fighter." Marcus just stared at it. Something in his chest twisted. So instead of keeping the money, he grabbed his jacket, hopped on his bike, and rode nearly 40 minutes across Chicago in freezing rain, using the address on the ID. By the time he reached the house, he was soaked. He knocked once, no answer. Twice, then the door suddenly swung open. An older man stood there, breathing hard, panic written all over his face. The second he saw the wallet, his knees almost gave out. Oh my God. He opened it with shaking hands, checking everything 3 separate times like he couldn't believe it was real. Then tears filled his eyes. "That money, it's for my granddaughter's surgery tomorrow morning." Marcus didn't know what to say. The man pulled out several $100s and tried forcing it into his hand. Marcus stepped back. "No, sir, it's yours." The man looked stunned. "Son, most people wouldn't have returned this." Marcus shrugged tiredly. "Yeah, maybe, but she needs it more than I do." He rode home freezing cold, exhausted, and honestly feeling stupid for turning down money that could have changed his whole life. But the next afternoon, his diner manager called him into the office. Marcus walked in expecting bad news. Instead, the old man was sitting there, wearing an expensive suit. Turns out he owned multiple restaurants across the city. He stood up, shook Marcus's hand, and said quietly, "Character matters most when nobody's watching." Then he handed Marcus an envelope. Inside was a job offer, a signing bonus, and keys to a small apartment above one of his restaurants. Marcus just stood there speechless, and for the first time in months, life finally felt possible again.